Okay, let's round up this practical by adding one more section rather. Okay, so I will call that one my contact or contact me. So immediately after my project, you see the div wrapping it is being closed here. I'll create another div. Okay, inside it, I'm going to have, the pattern is the same like H1 tag. H1 tag will say contact me. Then inside it, I'm going to have form tag. Form. This is how we put form on our website. In website, we fill a lot of forms, and inside the form, we are going to have what we call input tag and labels. So we are going to have inside we are going to have div. I want to keep it simple. Let's keep it simple. Let's just say we have paragraph. Then inside the paragraph, we have a full name inside our form. Then inside the full name, okay, let me show that. Okay, contact me, full name. So inside the full name, I have form tag. Then inside the form, I have paragraph. And I type full name. In front of the full name, there will be a box. We call it input. It doesn't have closing part. It's one of the tags that do not have closing part. You have noticed like a break tag. It doesn't have this. Is self-closing. Look at the way I close it. That is it. The same image tag does not have closing tag. Look at the way it is closed. So the same thing with input tag. So just do something like this. But it has an attribute. Type. What kind of input? Text. We want to type something. And if I refresh, you see the text box showing now. The text box showing. Okay? Then I'm going to copy this. Don't forget, let me undo. I want to copy this line. I don't need to highlight it. I'll just click on the line, Shift Alt arrow down. I copied it twice. Okay. Then I will say second paragraph, that's email address. Input type now is email. So your type is email. So if I refresh, you see what I have here, email address. So I have email address. Then after that, I'm going to have another input. Another paragraph. Shift Alt arrow down. But instead of input, I'm going to have text area. And text area does not have this type stuff. And it has closing part. It has closing part. That is the funny part of it. This time around, I will say your message. What is your message? If I refresh, you see, text area, you can see now that text area is expandable, is bigger than ordinary text box where you type. So that is the difference between input and text area. You type, it has some attributes like a number of column, how big it's going to be, and so on. Don't let us go into all those stuff. But at simplest level now, this is how we put form on our website. And that is the form you're having here. It remains one element you can guess. That is the submit button. So I'm going to use, there are many ways to do it. Just put button. But it has closing part. Button tag has closing part. Just is submit. So if I refresh, see the submit button here. So anybody that types anything, then you can submit it. It's reloading the page when I submit, thinking I'm submitting. I'm not submitting anything. If I type Ajewole Peter, peterajewole@gmail.com. Say, that's my message. I love this site. And I click submit. It's not submitted to any place. That is where back-end coding comes in. When you submit, you have to write code that takes this data and store it in database. So by the time we begin to do JavaScript, you learn more about that. But this is how we create form on our web page. Now let me go back to our anchor tab because our anchor. Now, if you don't get it, please check this form tag very well. This is how we do it. And you can also go to my YouTube channel. Type Peter Ajewole on YouTube channel. You will see my videos on detailed videos on web development is there. Okay. So what do we do now? I may type some attribute, maybe BG color. Will it work? Equals to blue. Let's see whether it works. It's not working. All this apply color and stuff. Let's save that for CSS. But I told you that the HTML is for content and structure of your site. And that's what we are doing, putting content on our site. If the site is going to look very beautiful, that will be the function of CSS. But for now, we are doing HTML. So far you're able to learn div tag, paragraph tag, H tag, H1 tag, UL and NLI, by which we did this list. The list here. Okay, we turn it to OL. If it is UL, okay, the closing part must also change. And you refer, it's going to be bullet. That's bullet. But we are doing OL here. List our project. So let's turn it to 1, 2, 3. That's ordered list. It's 1, 2, 3. Unordered list is bullet. So this is how far we have gone. Now, in the next video, I'm going to show us how to push this code to GitHub. But for now, let's make, if I click on home page, it should retain this home page. If I click on about me, I want you to scroll to about me. So what I'm going to do, and I want you to pay attention to this. Now this part, I'll give it ID. There is what called ID attribute. Identification, I'll give it heading. This part where I have the image, my name, and the paragraph which is about what I do, this div, I give it heading, this top part. Okay, the battery is slow, then I need to hurry up. Then the second part, I'll give it ID equals to menu. Then this part, give it ID of about. This part, I give it ID of projects. It's always good to give different section of your site ID. ID of a contact. Okay. And now that I've given them ID, so it doesn't take any effect. If I click about me, my project, I want you to go to that section straight. So this anchor tag here, the anchor tag for home, let it remain hash. Or about me, I will say hash about. Why am I using about? Because the about me section has an ID of about. So that is why I need to do hash about. Then for my project, give it, is going to be hash project. So this is how we link to different sections of our website, of a page, not of the whole site, of a particular page. Then you can guess, contact me. Give it ID of contact. So this should be contact, hash contact, no space. So if I refresh, if I click about me, it takes me to about me. If I click home, it goes up. If I click contact me, it scroll down to allow you to see contact. So because both of them, the content are not much, They are not far from each other. So when you click like this, it still show the same thing. But when you click home, it jumps up to show the whole page. You can see the hash here. So that is it. If I click about me, you see hash about in your URL. And if I click, let me go back to home and click contact me, it takes me to contact. So that is about anchor tag. So when we begin to do CSS, I will show you how to link to different pages. But meanwhile, we are going to do something in the few minutes remaining. We are going to create another page. Okay? So we are going to create a page. I will call it, what do we call this page? I will move contact me away. This contact, I'll move it away to another page. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a new file. On the left hand side in this Explorer, this is Explorer section. This is Explorer, this is search, this is GitHub, this is debugging, this is extension. Okay, sorry, this is GitHub. I think both of them are serving the same repository and so on. They serve the same purpose. Okay, now I'm on Explorer, this first button here, and I'll create a new file. I will say contact dot, that's another page entered .html. No space, contact. The name of the page is contact, then .html. Then I'm going to type exclamation mark. Don't forget, press enter. You remember that will say contact me. That's the title. Then I'll go to index.html. I'll cut this, the whole div. See the way I cut it? From the beginning to the end of the div. Ctrl X, I cut it. I bring it inside the body here. So if I refresh this page, everything stopped on my project. But this contact me is not leading to, there's no contact again. It's not leading to any contact. So if I go back, I'll go back to index. This contact me, the contact me menu. Don't forget this is our menu section, this part. I will look for contact me. The hyperlink reference will now, instead of hash contacts, is going to another page, which will be contact.html. So this is how we link to another page on our site. I can say don't forget // to show that they are in the same location, they are in the same folder. If this contact.html is another folder, if it is another folder, we say // or // contact.html will takes me to that page. So let's see that. When I click contact me, it takes me to contact me. Go back. If I click about me, it's still the same page. Click about me. Click home. Click my project. It shows more of my project. But when you click contact me, it takes you to another page entirely. Another page entirely. So that is about anchor tag. I think I've been able to explain more about anchor tag by this. Please go through it. You can visit my YouTube profile and see more of these videos. I want to thank you for listening. In the next video, I will show you how to push these codes to GitHub.